And then I told her, I was like, look, my money's just as good here as it is anywhere else. I mean,
Okay, thank you. Welcome back
damn it.
to Gargoyles. Uh, so we, in our continued coverage of episode by episode for Gargoyles,
Mm.
are now on episodes 41 through 45. We decided to do a 5 block this week instead of a 4, just because it ended on a mid part, and we tend to just block the 2-parters or 3-parters together into one rating or one talk block, whatever we want to call it,
Mm-hmm.
whatever we want to call it.
I like that. Talk block. Talk
Talk
block.
block.
Talk block.
Talk block.
Maybe,
So,
maybe.
welcome back to Seen by Few with Nick Alliance, and hopefully you've been watching along with us on Disney Plus or through your own personal DVD collection,
Mm-hmm.
which is probably the better way to watch it. But Disney Plus is so convenient.
It's the only access I have.
I actually don't have this season on DVD. I think they might have ended up putting it out, but it was one of those things where season 1 would come out and be like, oh, I got season 1 on DVD, and then silence. And then months, years later, they're like, here's the first half of the second season. You're like, I got it. And then silence.
Yeah, apparently it was a whole thing to burn stuff on a DVD back in the day, and now you can have it pretty much the next week after it comes out
No,
in film.
I still would like to go back and rewatch the Aladdin TV series, but that's nowhere. So fuck me, I guess.
It's not even on Disney.
No.
Really?
Yep. Fuck me, I guess is the way, because that's one where you would have had Homer Simpson voicing the genie at that point in time. What's his name? David Castaneda.
Castellaneta. Castellaneta.
So I mean, Disney Plus is convenient, but then I've got all the stuff I want, which is kind of annoying. But they at least have Gargoyle, which is good, and I think it's maybe picking up in popularity a bit more, or at least reinvigorated in people's minds.
I'm gonna find it for you now,
I
because
would,
there's always something out there.
I would absolutely love to watch the old Aladdin cartoon again at some point in time.
Just like Amber wanted to see herself the elf, and
Mm.
that's something that I guess disappeared in time. And I went and found a super bootleg copy of it and bought her a DVD. But in my defense, I thought I was buying an actual DVD, but it was
Oh,
bootleg when
yeah.
it came in. But she's got herself the elf now, and you could tell it was ripped straight from a TV. So, but she's got it.
Yeah. So, episode 41, we've got Cloud Fathers. Then we'll go on to Illnet by Moonlight.
Mm-hmm.
Then we'll go to Future Tense. And
Mm-hmm.
then lastly, we'll talk about the Gathering Part 1 and 2 together as one. So, with these ones, we rate them before the episode, we guess, and then we talk about in detail the episodes. So, spoiler warning for Gargoyles, a show going on 30-ish years.
Seriously, if someone complains about spoilers,
For, like, the show. Because for the most part, we talk about what episodes we're talking about, but we might bring up little bits and pieces about future gargoyle stuff. The dog hair has been wafting.
well, no, that was a you hair.
Oh, nice! I got a lot of them.
I was like, well, the last.
And if I do this, I can usually get one.
Well, it's there. It is. If I want to clone a Nick, all I have to do is search the floor.
That's because my hair is so long that like when you lose one or whatever, just over the course of it doesn't go anywhere.
I can't grow big. I can't grow hair because if I do, it goes up and out. I get a straight afro. So yeah. But all right. Well, here we go.
Yes. So Cloudfathers. What would you give Cloudfathers from 0 to 10?
I would give it a 5.
Yeah, I want a little generous. What a 6.
Okay. How about you?
I'll give it a 6 because it wasn't. It's not my favorite episode, but it's kind of cool. I like seeing Peter and Beth Maza,
Mm-hmm. Well,
and I like seeing New Coyote. A little bit of, I guess, maybe our last hurrah of Xanatos being an asshole.
oof, I doubt it. He's gonna find some way to fucking be a super dick bag, but
I don't remember how much more there is of Xanatos being an asshole.
I don't want
Like
to see him become the good guy. I can tell you that.
he's never a good guy per se, but
He's just selfish.
he's just yeah. Well, at this point in time, we'll get there. I mean, he's married with Fox and a child on the way.
Mm-hmm.
and he's still over here just kind of doing random shenanigans.
Mm-hmm.
But it kind of seems like they were building a place over here that he owned. And then people were like, "Yeah, there's this coyote guy fucking with us," and he's like, "Fucking, I got my coyote. Let's round up some robots and go put this thing right. I'm losing money."
I thought this episode felt really disjointed because it's like they were trying to hammer in too much in the front end so they could make a point of certain things in the back end of it. Because the beginning of it, I just felt was very convoluted with information.
Okay.
Because you had to make the connection with his dad,
Yeah, with Peter's
with
father.
Peter's father. You had to go back and talk about Coyote and the shenanigans they got to in the past on that. And it just felt very disjointed having the whatever, old man, you're from 60s,
Yep.
and I'm from the fucking 80s, and man,
It's the 1960s, not the 1860s.
yeah, and like that whole thing. I can't remember what the original episode was when you dealt with the Native American trickster god.
That was like our the first time we got off of Avalon. We went and did that one.
Right. What was that guy's name?
He was Raven.
Right.
Raven and grandmother.
Yeah, it felt like they were trying to kick back into something like that.
Yeah, we've definitely got our fill of trickster fae.
Oh, apparently all
even Raven was like the second one.
yeah, and like apparently all the Native American gods are just kind of douchebags.
That's if you go back and read any sort of mythology that's like, got several gods. There's always a good chunk of them that are assholes, and that's kind of like why the world seems so out of whack and awful. It's because you got like, fuck everybody, everyone just kind of like fucking shit up in their own way, trying to make their own ideal or whatever.
Right.
Having to try to get along, it not working.
Yeah, it just this episode. So the animation was jank.
It was okay. It's not great.
Yeah, it was, and I'm going to stop picking on the animation because I understand that you have different episodes, different studios doing different episodes.
Yeah.
So they can crank out 50 plus, episodes.
Yeah, for 1 year.
But I will say that in this 5 block that we did, this one had not the best of all of the animation.
Yeah, we got one of them that I think had decent one, but I don't remember which one.
Future
it was.
Tense.
I think it was Future Tense. Might have had some of the cooler animation.
Yeah, Future Tense was.
I think it was like during the fight scenes it looked cooler. We'll get to that.
Yeah, they had like an anime style about it.
Yeah.
But we don't want to spoil that one in case there's someone who hasn't watched any Gargoyles.
No, seriously,
Fuck yourself.
yes. Spoiler warning.
These are old.
Spoiler warning for all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I dug the storyline. The end of the episode hit me like a ton of bricks with him. Do you want to go talk to Grandpa?
Yeah. Were you expecting him to go to actually talk to his grandfather?
Yeah, like a super old grandpa guy. But it's like you never see him at the family dinners and any of the other episodes.
Well, he's estranged.
Right. But it's like, you want to go talk to Grandpa? And he's like, no. You want to go talk to Grandpa? They say it again in the middle of the episode. No, I don't want to. And then at the end of it, when he goes to actually talk to his father's grave, like that slammed me. That hit me hard. And then, the whole thing about, you have your differences when you're alive, and then you have things that were unsaid when the people are gone, and it's too late to say.
Yeah. Time, or just kind of you're holding on to this old prejudice or grudge or whatever from, hey, he said this thing to me, back when, and then they're gone, and now it's always going to remain unresolved in you.
Yeah, that hit me like a ton of bricks because like the entire episode itself, I'm just kind of like, okay, it's Sanatos is trying to protect his tractors on his construction site or whatever, and then he's trying to like lure Coyote out. Okay, that's interesting, and then the whole thing about Coyote taking his form because he was the guy that danced as him, like doing the neutron dance back in the day. I thought, okay, that's
whatever.
That's a thing. And then at the end of the episode, it hit me like a ton of bricks, and I was like, okay. So that episode would have probably been a 4 until they got to the end of the episode, and then I was like, okay, that's pretty good.
I like seeing Coyote, the robot Coyote again, and him just being like, look, here I am now. And it's like, you remember that cauldron from way back when? I'm like, I do remember that. It's like, it's been melted down and put in my robot so I can grab Faye. I'm like, what a coincidence. But I guess he also knew, like, hey, this Coyote guy is fucking up my site. Well, I've got this old magical relic that I'm not going to use it. So I might as well melt it down and make some robots that can grab Faye.
Yeah. But it's like, if I was Coyote, I would have been like, bro, can you fix my fucking face? Like,
I don't even know if it was actually his face anymore. If it was just like, I don't know if his head is still in that bubble or if it's just a projection, like a hologram or whatever.
it's a Gargoyle's secret. I don't think we'll ever
I
know.
don't know.
But it's like, why pick that one? Like, did you just really like the whole half Terminator face look? Because when, like, he doesn't show his face at the beginning of the episode, and then when it slides back and you see him again, he's like, I'm Coyote 4.0. And you see that fucking half face, and I'm just like, why?
Fix her face.
Yeah, fucking just. But I almost want Coyote to be like, so you made me this great body, and it's got all these things and all these gadgets and gadgets. Can you spend $3.58 to put just skin on the other side of my fucking face?
You mean my face?
Okay, fine, Xanatos, sorry. But, you know.
Only one Xanatos. So you get to be half a Xanatos.
I guess. It struck me as weird whenever I saw it. And I was like, I guess that's just Robot Coyote's look now.
Yeah, yeah.
But then again, it gives them another reason to sell toys.
Again, I don't know if they made any Coyote toys whatsoever.
I'm pretty sure.
I don't remember the pack being toys, which would be weird because we had like the Steel Clan and Xanatos. There might have been a Cold Stone, but we didn't get like many like people to make the Gargoyles fight.
Well, Lord knows they made a fuck ton of them in the second season. And we'll get to the episode where I want to talk about that, which I believe was Future Tense. No, it was one where they actually went back to New York.
No, so the Gathering.
I don't think it was Gathering. I think it was the
Met by Moonlight.
Yes.
When it was Avalon.
Yeah, I think that was the one. Well, hold on. When did they go back to New York? Was it
the Gathering?
The Gathering. So it was.
Well, I guess Future Tense was fake New York.
Yeah, that was the head pump.
And they were back to get there.
Yeah, that was the head fake. But yeah, it was a good episode. Yeah. But I would say it was.
It's okay. We're nearing the end of the arc. We get to catch up with Elisa's father a little bit and kind of maybe explore that side of her heritage a little bit. Because we already got to see Diana Maza in Kenya. Now we get to see Peter Maza and kind of see like here are the heritage where Elisa comes from, whatever. And while I think there's always like those messages of like, man, tradition is important, but I'm like at the same time, I'm not super into the tradition is important part because I'm kind of like I don't care what my grandparents were, where they came from, and all that sort of stuff. But I wonder if that's just a consequence of being like white as shit. And while it's being interesting to kind of like learn about like, hey, you come from this sort of stuff. I'm like, oh, okay, but I'm not carrying any traditions down. Like, me and my father used to go hunting every whatever. I'm like, okay, have fun.
So it's funny that you say that because I actually had a conversation just yesterday with my mom, and I got the information, I got the epiphany from the weirdest fucking place. But like, we've been talking about Jackson. Like, you know, I think sometimes people grow up and they get an identity. Like, I can think of a handful of people in my life that when growing up they were like one person, and when they got older, they became a different person. And I think it's in an episode of Family Guy. It's the episode where Chris becomes like the cult-looking singer, where he sings the Evil Monkey song.
Okay.
And he's just like, or I think that was it. But basically, Brian goes, maybe he's adopted this culture because he doesn't know enough about his own history. And like that's become super important to me because I want Jackson to know at least where he came from, so he can build an identity off of that if he wants to.
Yeah, you kind of have the information there for, I think, is nice for your children or whatever to kind of get interested in if they want. It's when you're kind of like, no, this is where you come from, so you're going to act this way, is when I'm not super into it.
Oh, yeah, no.
And it's kind of like, which traditions from the old culture do we follow and which ones don't we? Well, some of them feel outdated. Well, they all feel outdated to me, or whatever, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Or it's just kind of like, you got to pick and choose what from your past lineage, otherwise, you know, people down here would be like having folks out there picking their fields, and that's not, we can let those, like, we can let traditions go.
You have to remember, but you don't have to keep doing it.
Yeah.
But you have to remember so you don't repeat it.
Yeah, know where you come from, but I don't think I don't find it as important to like strictly follow tradition.
Yeah, no,
Or if you think it's cool to like dance around a fire with some of your bros or whatever and remember where you came from, that's cool. But don't.
I'm quarter Native American, quarter Lebanese, but it's like I don't take any of that heritage, like I guess, with me as I move through this world. But I just want him to have the information, you know. So I thought it was a neat message that I felt like they were kind of drumming home again with the whole "I'm out of here, Grandma," and just
Yeah.
in the Raven storyline,
Yeah.
and now again with this one.
Yeah. It definitely feels a little react.
Yeah, well, we shouldn't have killed the Native American people. We shouldn't have drove them onto reservations. They think they're the ones that were going to save the planet.
Yeah, but it's remember what happened. Don't forget that shit. But then hopefully move to an. Oh, it's I mean like yeah, like all that shit's awful.
Oh yeah, no.
It's
It's the human history is paved in blood.
yeah, yeah.
So
Humans are awful.
yeah,
We're awful to each other.
we're pretty bad.
We're very tribal.
Hmm? No, I mean it's so that's another thing that someone pointed out to me the other day. Is I was like, why can't we just like walk up to people on the street and be like, hey, you look friendly, like, but no, for some reason we always make like pacts.
It's we're all tribal anyway. Cause we're like I remember if we just go back to us in like a few years ago playing at the Dragon, being like, oh, those are card gamers, and we're over here playing D&D like that's some different thing or whatever.
Yeah, but we're all fucking nerds.
We're all nerds at sitting around a table playing games, but we're playing different games, and therefore we form different tribes. And while tribes look different, we're still tribal.
I still think it's funny. Like when I'd walk past the Magic players and I'm like geek, and then they'd walk past our table and they're like fucking nerds.
Yeah.
Like I just think that's just funny to me.
Yeah,
But
and then we'd both walk by the Pokemon gamers and be like, dweebs.
yeah, let's get together and beat those guys up. I'm just kidding.
Yeah,
I love
right.
you, Dylan and Dalton. I know y'all still love Pokemon. But okay, so is there anything else we need to cover?
No,
about
we
this
can
episode?
move on to Ill Met by Moonlight. So let's see.
What do I think? This was the Oberon.
Yes. So then they return to Avalon, and they're like, "Oh shit, we're back in Avalon." And then Oberon's like, "Get off my island!"
Get off my land!
But you've abandoned it for 1,000 years. That's tough.
And then you had Titania.
Yes.
I think Nick's gonna get this. Let's go with that.
All right.
That might be too high. Fuck it. I'm there now.
All right, Lance. What would you give Ill Met by Moonlight?
I would give it a 7.
Yeah, look at that.
All right. There we go. How about you, Nick?
I'm also going to give it a 7.
Fuck! I knew I went too high.
Oh, this one's fun. I like Oberon and Titania. Oberon's fun, where he's just kind of like so fucking powerful to the point where like he just has no patience for shit. It's like I said this, so this is what's happening, and people are like, we don't think that's what's happening. He's like, zap zap zap.
You don't tell me what my will is.
It's like you're on my it's fucking Avalon. It's mine. I made it. So you do what the fuck I say.
Well, you abandoned this house. Well, I'm fucking back and I'm cleaning out the roaches.
Yeah, guess who's back?
Yeah.
Get on my.
Yeah, I thought it was really cool how she was like, yeah, let's dumb your power down. And he was still fucking stupid powerful.
It's like reduce your strength to the side of it. Reduce your strength to that of a child, and they're flying away. And Gabriel's like, "Let's." She said he's as strong as a kid. Let's fuck him up. He's like, "No, Oberon's children." So I remember like all this stuff we've been going to all these across the world, running across Raven and Coyote and Odin and all these people who are just Oberon's children, and they've been fucking us up.
Odin.
Odin.
Yeah, like that was the thing that like fucked me up was when like it was like Odin is one of Oberon's children. I was like, that dude's like crazy powerful.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And Oberon's above all of them, and it's just kind of like, it's interesting. So, whenever I play Oberon, like as a DM, like at the table or whatever, I tend to base it off of how he was in Gargoyles.
Okay.
So, if ever you're playing something with me and Oberon shows up,
he's gonna be a dickbag.
expect that.
Got
like,
it.
expect placate him because he's strong enough to fuck you up.
Right.
And you better hope you're equally there to kind of push back against him.
And he has a weird sense of honor.
I mean, to the point, yeah, all Fae make deals and shit like that. Mm-hmm. So if you can get him to make a deal, he'll honor his deal, but he might like twist it. And if like with Fae, if you owe Fae favors, kind of like Titania owed Goliath and Elisa favors, so she kind of like told him how to take down Oberon.
And that was cool. Mm-hmm. I thought that was really neat. And I also like checking back in with Tim. Isn't that his name?
Yeah. Tom.
Yeah, Tom. And the
and Catherine.
Yeah, like it's just I really liked going back to the island. I'm guessing that Angela is that her boyfriend or is that her brother?
They're rookery siblings.
Right. But I think they're like mates though, right?
They might have been.
Okay.
They're not, like when she goes to Manhattan or whatever. like I think this is the last time we say Gabriel,
Okay,
and she ends up with someone else.
don't tell me who. I have a feeling I know. Lexington. She ends up with no Hudson. She ends up
Yes,
with
Hudson.
Hudson. Yeah, good on you, Hudson. But yeah, I really enjoyed this episode. I thought it was good. I thought the animation was good.
Yeah, I like them running around and fighting Oberon. Like all of his little powers were kind of fun. Like
Yeah,
him pulling him into the sand, or like it's like, ah, stop using your magic. It's like, all right, come on. So he brings up and smashes him, and just kind of his skin shatters to reveal his diamond
diamond
form.
body.
It's
Yeah.
like you're still not playing fair. It's like, yeah, tough shit.
I reduced my powers. What the fuck do you want?
Yeah.
Um, but yeah, I thought that was neat. I really dug the whole. I loved how he got punched and like his skin just shattered, and he was standing there in the diamond body. It's like, oh, you're wearing yourself out. Okay, good. Just gonna stand here for a minute and pick you all up. The fucking game's over. You
Yeah.
know.
He wins,
Yeah.
and then like, look, I defeated your warriors, and then Catherine and Tom and Elisa coming out, ringing the bell, being like, "I fuck you anyway." Like he won. He won. He beat you.
Yeah. And they changed the deal.
Yeah.
Pray they don't change it further.
Yeah. It's so I think it's Oberon was being honorable, and then the other ones just kind of being like, I don't want to kill him. It's like, okay, fine, then you can stay here.
Well, I mean, he was going to exterminate them.
Yeah.
So, like,
Yeah, I guess that's true.
yeah, he was going to exterminate them. They needed the upper hand, and then Titania even told him, like, she let them know, I know the mind of this motherfucker, so this is how you get over on him if you want to stay.
Yeah.
Plus, say what you want to about Titania, especially in the upcoming episodes coming down the line, but like, she's
She's Fey nice.
yeah, she's Fey nice, which isn't saying much, but
Yeah.
still,
It's they're gonna trick and connive you to get what they want,
mhm.
and it's gonna seem bad, but in the end, what she wants is good for you. It's just how well it's
I've got thoughts.
yeah, it's how you get there is not good for you.
Right, I've got thoughts, but
It's
we
kind
can't.
of like so the good being you want to stay on Avalon.
Mhm.
Here's how you get Oberon to allow you to stay on, because I can't just say, well, you let him stay because he's the king.
Mhm.
So she's got to work around it too, and she's been working Fey shit her entire life, which is millennia essentially.
Mhm.
So she knows how to work Oberon to get him to change how to change his mind. And how you change his mind is she knows what these people are like.
Mhm.
They're not going to kill Oberon. Therefore, they give them the means that they could,
Right.
so that when they show that they're not those type of people, Oberon will be like, you know what? Why not?
You guys are okay.
Yeah,
I guess I'll make y'all defenders of my island.
we'll live here, and then you can be like over there.
Well, see, he's like, yeah, you'll be protectors of my island. Let me call my banners together. Odin? Yes. Come and bend the knee to me.
It's even in like the Gathering or whatever when he like opens the mirror to communicate with Catherine. You can still see Catherine's kind of like, don't fuck with Oberon.
Yeah.
It's like I'm gonna borrow your dog. Yep, absolutely. I'll bring him to you. It's like
Whatever you need, bud.
it's, you don't need to bring him to me. Magic mirror.
And she's adorable. Oh my god, that dog's what's that?
Bodiga.
Bodiga. I love Bodiga. I think she was great. I wish they would have made a toy of her. Did they make a toy of her?
I don't know.
No.
Is it a her?
I think so.
Okay.
I think he calls her good girl at one point.
No, maybe I don't. I guess I missed.
They're gargoyles. Who knows?
Bodiga.
Yeah, who knows? But yeah, this episode was a lot of fun.
It's good.
I really had a good time with this one. I thought it was interesting how much of a douchebag he was.
Yeah. I like that they she says like the sound of your defeat will and you'll get your reward will be a different ring. Then they never call back to it until the end. They're sitting there working on something like, what the fuck are they working on? They never look at the camera and be like, see, what I found out is that, and they never clue you into what they're doing until they do it, and then they're like, how did you know to do that? And they're like, well, in case you missed it.
Yeah, that she said this.
Yeah.
Plus, I don't think that the person who writes gargoyles knows how blacksmithing works.
Oh yeah, you don't do that. You don't quench the fire and then shape the metal.
Yeah, well, it's like they melt the material.
Yeah.
They pour it onto the floor,
Pick up the molten.
quench it, and then beat it after it's like cold. I was kind of like, I don't know a lot about blacksmithing, but I'm pretty sure you're not doing it right.
But maybe that's how you make cold iron. Ooh.
Blew my fucking mind. All right, hey, do you make cold iron?
I don't. I have no fucking idea how you make cold iron.
Put it
I
in
know.
the
I know.
comments.
I know you don't like. You don't hot smith it is essentially like how you make cold iron.
I know you wouldn't do it in like an hour. Like that
Yeah,
chase took what, an hour maybe?
yeah. If even,
Yeah.
with every hour that they spend running around is a day outside. You can't stay in Avalon too long. You got to make those episodes short.
Yeah. Tom is an amazing blacksmith.
All right.
It's like he
But
was.
just made it out armor. See that perfectly sculpted gargoyle
That's
face?
true. But I mean, like, I would imagine on camera he was like, ping, and then as soon as it shifted away to what the guard was doing, he's like,
Well,
I mean, it's just he had to have done something. I don't know, but like that did catch me whenever they did that, pour it on the floor. I was like, you're supposed to do that, buddy, but it was an interesting callback. I will say this for the showrunner, the guy that was like putting the scripts together for that show. A lot of callbacks, a lot of interesting stuff that does not make any sense at one point
Yep.
and then makes total sense at another.
like, hey, Tanya, why'd you help us out? Well, you helped me out once. Like, we never met. And then she smiles.
Yep. And then you get that backstory.
Yeah.
It was
This one we don't have to wait that long for. Whereas opposed to like some of the other ones that are upcoming, you're like, well, shit, that's been there the entire time, and now we're finally getting it.
and it was good seeing the Fates again. Like,
Oh yeah, the Weird Sisters are still
Yeah.
they're still pissy.
but yeah, I think that's what I liked best about it. It was kind of like Oberon wasn't around, and they show up and they're like, "See, Daddy,
Look,
see, these are the assholes who've been living on
told
the
you.
island." Yeah.
what are you guys doing? It's like we fucked up Demona and Macbeth's life to get these people off the island, but they're still fucking here.
Make them pay, Daddy. I thought that was funny, but all right. Is there anything else we want to cover about this
No,
episode?
this one's fun. I like this one.
Agreed.
And I think we're done with Avalon. I don't think we come back to Avalon again. I don't remember.
You kind of doing the gathering?
Yeah, a little bit, I guess. But like, yeah, you're true. Like, I think the Gathering is the last we'll see of Avalon. I don't know that it comes back up again.
Well, it's technically Future Tense is also an Avalon episode on for the fact that
In a way, yeah.
they still cruise there.
Yeah.
But we'll get there.
So, next up would be Future Tense.
Yeah.
So let me just adjust this one more number. I think I had it settled, but I think I need to resettle it. Okay, Lance.
Yes.
What would you give Future Tense?
9.
All right. Oh, good thing I just went.
Okay.
It is indeed a 9.
All right.
I was thinking 8 at first.
Nope. I've been talking about this
Yeah.
episode since we've been.
The entire time you're like, there's this one episode I remember. I'm like, it's a while. Like, and then another week goes by and you're like,
Is it coming up soon?
is this the one? It's like, no, not yet, not yet.
No. And then we finally get to Future Tense, which was the one that stands out the most to me of all the Gargoyle episodes.
Yeah.
How about you, Nick?
I'm gonna give it a 5.
5.
I'm not a huge fan of this one.
Okay.
Mainly because it's a ooh, wouldn't that be silly if episode. I'm not super into those.
Okay. All right. Let's see. I thought that you might have rated it higher just for the fact of it was kind of a future where you removed Goliath and how bad
Oh,
things could have gotten.
yeah.
Um,
It's an interesting thought, but it's also none of it happened. It's like, okay.
Well, it was.
Right. I mean, there's interesting stuff in it that I think is kind of like Lexington kind of being like, it was all me. It's like, but why?
Well, see, I think the reason I love this episode so much is the fact of, yes, it was all a dream episodes or big jerk you off episodes, but I liked the detail that was in it. Like Xanatos fighting Alexander.
Yeah.
I thought that was interesting, and it was all very anime style.
Yeah, that was cool.
Yeah, that looked great. A lot of the stuff in the episode was like anime style. You could tell that they kicked it up a notch
Yeah.
For the animation for this particular one. But I also loved at the very end of it. I loved how they had the details of like Coldstone got obliterated in this fight with Xanatos. Then you lost this person. Broadway loses his fucking eyes, and he was the lucky one to only lose his eyes. He had
With
this
his little Sonic collar.
Sonic collar and shit. Like, I thought there was so much detail and storyline there to all find out it was a trick.
Yeah. I think the thing I liked most in this episode is kind of like just everyone being like, oh man, this is pretty awful, huh, Goliath? Wouldn't it be cool if you used that Phoenix Gate of yours to like do something about it? And they're like, nah, I can't use the Phoenix Gate. And then the little boy's on like, all these people are dead. I mean, if we had a Phoenix Gate, it would be pretty fucking cool if we could do. And at the end, he's like, fucking, it's right there. It's like, no, give me it.
Yeah, well, pick it.
Take it if you want it.
Because he was like, yeah, hand me the Phoenix Gate. And he's just like, oh, I can't. And then you see something click.
Too weak.
Too weak. Reach down and get it. And it's like, no, you got to give it to me. Well, just fucking take it. It's right there.
Yeah,
Man.
take it. It's like, okay, I can't take it.
I thought that was a good. I thought that was a good part.
That part is the stuff that's fun in this episode. I
And
think.
then you find out it's Puck just fucking with him
Yeah.
the entire time.
See ya.
Ah, you busted me. But I thought it was a good reason for why he was doing it.
It's fun. I'm not. I like the episode. Okay, it's just it's one of those the it's all a dream jerk off episodes. I'm generally not super big on.
I was fine with it because Lexington is my favorite. Well, it's between Hudson and Lexington. I would say I like Lexington better than Hudson, but I like that he was the mastermind of it, only for the fact of Xanatos basically fucked up and disappeared, and then Lexington was like, "I'm going to step in and run shit."
It was who was the fuck they killed each other.
It was between Hudson and Xanatos,
Hudson and Xanatos killed each other,
and then
and
they
then
thought,
there was a power vacuum, and Lexington was like, "Man, I'm gonna do it my why."
and I'll still make it look like it's Xanatos,
Yeah,
just so he can keep up the optics that he's a good guy, but also make him do whatever he
like why would Lexington do that shit?
because it's fucking Puck's fanfic.
Yeah, okay. But I mean, it's just like Lexington's the villain. Like, okay, but why is Lexington the villain?
That was a neat reveal.
Yeah, it was just a reveal.
Yeah, it's always interesting to find out that one of your good guys was in fact the bad guy all along.
The secret cyborg.
Yeah, but like Xanatos turning into a top and grinding off fucking like
Had the stone Goliath's limbs or whatever.
I thought that was neat.
It was interesting.
Yeah, like that whole episode was striking to me only for the fact of the animation for a Gargoyles cartoon.
It's grim.
Yes.
Where it's kind of like, they're in the cyberspace. He like makes the sunrise. Everyone turns to stone. He's like, and these three MFers are dead.
Yeah. Yeah.
After you're the last of your kind, now Goliath.
Yeah, that was good. Like I liked a good grim episode.
Yeah.
Because I thought it was interesting. This is where you can tell that it is a kid's show, but this is where the writer of the show was just like, okay, we're gonna get down and dirty, and this is gonna get real fucking ugly real fast. Still, to this day, one of my favorite episodes.
Which
sorry you don't have good taste in cartoons.
my favorite episode is The Mirror, which is also a Puck episode. So Puck makes good episodes.
Is that the original Puck episode?
Yes.
Okay.
The one where Demona gets turned into a human.
Right. Okay, and then you meet him for the first time.
And where she like goes and captures the mirror and puts the chains on it, and he gets summoned through in the chains. And he's like, very clever. It's like, let's have some fun.
Yeah. Puck is.
Yeah,
and
Puck is great.
And that's Britt Spiner, right?
Yes.
Okay. I can't go look on IMDb because he's going to be doing the scores for this episode, so I can't ruin anything. But I also thought it was interesting that Derek or Talon was the foot soldiers for
No.
Xanatos' army.
But they were there were some of them. There were also little Thalog-y looking guys.
Yeah.
So it just means he perfected the cloning because he made more mutates,
Right.
and then he made more like Thalog type ones too.
Thalog died in the cloning stuff.
Yeah.
Because he was like the honor guard for the castle, and then Talon.
The kind of Talon mutates. I think they looked like him, but they weren't. I don't think they were actually Talon. It's just kind of like the template of them.
Yeah, I'm not sure. So you had Severius perfected what was happening. You had Maggie die. Then you saw that Claw was fighting with Matt Bluestone, and it was fun to see Matt
like old future Matt or whatever.
Yeah, he looked like fucking. He reminded me like with his little ship and his little cohort. He reminded me of what's his name? Not Gilkin Gain. Fucking Macbeth.
Oh yeah, a little bit.
Yeah, he was Macbethy to me. But it was fun having him back because that's like my favorite version of him.
Yeah.
Because I do not like Matt.
It's not hard to be your favorite version of Matt Bluestone.
Yeah. But I did like the lore that they put into it. I liked that you had the pyramid or whatever that was in the middle of the city that was basically the Xanatos' tower. I liked how it was like a super grim fucking future, and how it was like, don't worry, as soon as I complete this whole thing, then all of you downtrodden, you'll be beautiful and sparkly. And it was kind of like, okay, all right, sure. But yeah, this still to this day the best episode ever, in my opinion. This guy doesn't know good episodes.
I'm not big on. Ooh, it's all a dream.
There was no Demona, that's why he didn't like it. Wait, there was Demona.
Demona.
Yeah, she's like, protect our kids.
Yeah.
Because she hooked up with
Brooklyn, which is gross.
Why?
Yeah, it's gross.
I think that would have been the obvious choice since he hates her so much.
Yeah, that's why I don't like that haters to lovers
Oh.
trope either.
Okay. I thought it was good.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's just stuff. It's just stuff.
It's like I don't know you.
I knew I was gonna upset you with this one.
It's fine. Like
So I knew this was like upcoming your favorite episode. And me knowing like I just thought it was like okay, it's fine.
well, keep in mind you're also a 20-year-old me that watched this episode.
Oh
It's
yeah.
like holy shit, and like I'm pretty sure back in
Oh,
the day.
I imagine back in the day I thought it was dope as shit too.
Well, it's like back in the day, I saw that episode
Once,
once,
yeah.
and I just remembered the turn. I did not remember all the minutia. And like for a jerk you off, give me the Phoenix Gate story that Puck pulled out of his ass
It's
was very detailed.
oh yeah.
Like it was very detailed. But
All for like got struck by lightning, knocked out, and then just had this weird fucking dream. He's kind of like, Puck was fucking with me.
yeah, you were talking like some weird shit in your dream, but yeah, they were still in Avalon. They were still cruising the mists of Avalon. They just didn't reach their destination.
Yeah, they were like on the way there or whatever.
Yeah,
I imagine they're probably outside of Manhattan, on their way to Manhattan, when Puck just kind of showed the fuck up, because like, oh, he's coming to, he's almost here. I'll just fuck with him here. Get the Phoenix Gate real quick, and at the end for Goliath just to be like, yeah, fuck this, and now all of the items are gone.
Yeah, and now
The Grimoire was destroyed with the Archmage.
Mm-hmm.
The Eye of Odin has gone back to
in
Odin.
its face.
Back to Odin, and then now the Phoenix Gate has lost the time.
Do we ever see it again?
Not this one. So in the comics, I think Brooklyn ends up going through time or some shit.
Do not include comics.
But I mean, like, I think in the show, I think the 3 items are gone.
Okay.
And I think in the comic line, they're trying to bring back like 3 new items to kind of be like the three next power pieces or some shit like that. But the comics are okay.
So when we're done with episodes, do we want to do comic reviews?
You don't have to.
No, I don't want to. Comics are always over the top.
Yeah, it's weird. But my issue with like, so I read like a Marvel comic or whatever, and like we get that shit over pretty quick. I feel like I'm reading this for up to episode 2, or like issue 10, and I'm like, we're still. It's like tell a concise story. They put out like a Halloween special, and they told a one good story in one issue. I'm like, cool. I just want them to like several little stories, not one big super story.
Okay. Well, I think we've covered everything in this episode. I will say the fight between Xanatos and Alexander, and the fact that he was willing to put his kid down. Mm-hmm. Pretty good.
Well, Lexington was absolutely in the idea of putting down Xanatos' kid. Because it was all a facade.
Yeah, it was all a dream, but still.
Yeah. It was just a fun looking fight where Alex is just Xanatos again, but with different future armor and like a different shaped beard or whatever.
And then he
had like longer hair.
Well, I also like the masks on the Iron Clan now that have like the beard. Mm-hmm. And then they have fucking rocket launchers and shit. Like they look dope.
Yeah.
And they also seem extremely menacing because I also like the part where the boat gets blown up in the harbor and Elisa's like floating and Goliath starts swimming towards her and she just bloop under the water and the fucking Steel Clan flies up like, got her, bitch! Like I thought that was neat. But again, this guy doesn't know episodes. Don't listen to him.
No, apparently.
Listen to me.
All right. Shall we move on to The Gathering 1 and 2?
I thought there was one.
We did Cloudfathers.
Yes.
We did Met by Moonlight.
No, we just
did Future Tense, and now we're
at
now at the double part.
All right.
It's going kind of quick.
It is going kind of quick, especially for a surprise week where I was like, "We're doing 5."
We are doing 5.
Okay. All right.
We are indeed doing 5.
The Gathering Uno.
And Dos.
Together.
But they're one episode. They're just split in twice.
What do I think next week?
Split in twain.
What do I think next week of this? Yeah. You know what? I'm gonna stick with it.
Lance, what would you give The Gathering 1 and 2?
7. Okay.
8.
How about you?
I'm gonna give it 8.
I'm a little low.
Yeah. I like this one. So
it was good.
I don't know, Oberon's personality amuses me.
Mm-hmm.
And this time we get to see him stroll essentially into Xanatos' tower.
Mm-hmm.
And it's kind of be like, and his wife being like, I want that baby. And him being like, oh,
she'll have the baby.
She wants the baby.
Yeah.
Like, my wife got up to some shit during her 1,000 years, didn't she? Had a kid and everything. It's like, yeah, my little kid doesn't have any magic, but the baby, hang on.
Yeah.
Good point. Steal the baby.
Well, her reasoning was interesting, for the fact of, mother died, the magic died in your mother, and I don't want to see that happen to the kid because it's got potential.
Yep.
So the reasoning was interesting, but it's kind of like we're just taking it. You can't come to Avalon. You can't visit your son. It's like you're my mom. At least it allows some allowances of like me drifting in and out.
I think it kind of was like you're humans. You don't get to go to Avalon.
And then I would have pointed at Elisa and been like, eh?
That's they kicked the fuck.
What about Tom? And,
They had a whole fight for them with them.
yeah, but still, it's like they're humans. They're living in Avalon. It's possible.
Yeah, they had to go through all that shit to get there.
Yeah, I know why she's doing it.
Oh, yeah.
We're talking about the episodes collectively, so it's not like we can't
Yeah,
say
yeah,
anything
yeah.
else.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, she was trying to force her hand and make her like get motherly love to like bring that power out of her.
Well, and it was also now there's going to be someone there to train Alex in the way of magic.
Yeah, but it's like
So she got exactly she wanted magic to be fostered in Alex,
sure,
and now it's going to be. She got exactly what she wanted.
but it's like Puck only gets to use his powers when he's training.
No, she doesn't give a fuck about Puck.
Yeah, but it's like a workaround for him would be like, "Hey, Alex, let's go training." And it's like, "Okay, where are we going? We're going to go train down at this liquor store. Why are we training at the liquor store?"
That's you wait.
Yeah, just wait for a second. Okay,
No,
so
no, it's. I mean, just wait.
oh,
There's an episode in which what the fuck does this have to do? It's Puck training Alex.
and he's just doing it so he can.
He's out being Puck.
Okay,
But it's all. But I'm training Alex, therefore I get to do this shit.
got it.
So
Okay.
he's a fae. He's gonna find.
There's a workaround.
He's gonna find his workarounds.
There's always a workaround. All right, but yeah, like these episodes were killer.
Yeah.
They were excellent.
I always like that like when, whenever you see Owen, it's like the first time you see Owen being like, oh no, the fuck's going on? You get to see him like perturbed, and we're just used to Owen being like stoic and boring.
Yep, I gotta go.
It's like, I can't help you, but on this disc is everything you need. I'm a pimp out.
But we're just about to start the fight. I cannot be part of this one, sir. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I'm out.
Yeah,
Everything should be here.
Yeah, follow the plan to the letter, and you should be okay. And of course, Oberon finds a workaround. You
didn't put the energy field underneath the ground.
Yeah, you put the box on top of the thing, but you didn't put anything underneath.
So like it worked for a long time because Owen even said like I'm letting anger cloud my judgment. He's just gonna like fucking. He puts up a wall and saying I'm just gonna shoot this little. I'm gonna shoot this little. No, fuck. It's holding it, so I'm gonna throw some cars at it. It's like okay. In that case, everyone in New York can go to bed, and I'm gonna start throwing everything. I'm Chuck grow super big.
Yeah.
Start hugging it, and it gets fucking angry.
And then you get the whole thing. Matter is matter. Energy is energy.
Yeah, it doesn't matter if it's made by magic or science.
Right, and then they starts draining him. Then you have the old man come in, Fox's father.
Oh, Renard.
Yeah, and Renard comes in and basically
his bots or whatever.
Yeah, and his robots do fuck all until they basically
the energy field. Yeah.
Yeah, but even then, it was like he was already kind of shrinking.
Yeah, because he was holding on to the thing. It was like taking so much energy. He was shrinking as he hugged the field.
And then he gets he's just kind of like, okay, I'm tired of dicking around with this, and just basically freezing rain.
Yeah.
As it turns out, very effective.
Just
super effective.
There's a lot of shit he should have done from the beginning, but he was just so angry he wasn't thinking about that.
Well, I think it was also it's kind of the whole thing where it's like you watch the old kung fu movies where the guy comes strolling in real cocky because he knows he's more powerful, and then when you find out that the little guy has a little bit more, it's like, okay, I guess I got to pull out all the fucking stuff.
Or the little guy has a fuck ton of little guys with him, and you're like, fucking quit it, stop it.
Yeah, but like when he did,
I'm not amused anymore.
When he did the freezing rain, I was like, okay, yeah, that has a lot of purposes. The sky ship goes down. Super lucky it was in the middle of a park where no one was going to get hurt.
I mean, they would have screamed, they're all asleep.
Good point. Good point. But my point is, no one died.
Down in an open area.
In a city as populated as New York, and as on top of each other as New York.
Well, when he lived down in Central Park, I imagine he's probably got. If you're Xanatos, you buy the property that overlooks a nice little park.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you can see from atop your castle on your skyscraper.
Every view is a good view from his fucking.
I fuck your money like that.
Right.
Put this castle on my building.
Yeah, contribute to our Patreon. Let us see how it feels to have fuck you money. We still don't have a Patreon. But yeah, like I loved that, and I forgot to talk about it in the Future Tense episode. The fact that it was Hudson that took out
Xanatos.
Xanatos, and like the fight between them looked fucking epic.
Mm-hmm.
It looked awesome. I still to this day say that this motherfucker is MVP.
Oh yeah, it being Ed Asner helps a.
Yeah, it's like he's just awesome. And then like when they come back in the gathering, the first episode, it's like you watch Ed Asner. He gets his dog back.
Oh,
He's like, "Oh, I love you too,
my
buddy."
dog.
Yeah, like I thought that was so great.
My dog's been gone for months.
Yeah, and now he's got his little fucking TV watching buddy back.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I like that. I'm super happy they brought the team back together.
Yeah, now we're done with the Avalon saga. This is
Oh,
kind of like
God.
the putting the pin in it. Like, wow, Avalon released us. Like, no, Avalon didn't release you. There's shit going down in Manhattan that you had to be here for.
Mm-hmm.
And now it's just like, well, now we're just not getting back. Like, fuck that.
Fuck that.
We're done.
Well, it's. I would have personally, once I would have saw the Brooklyn Bridge, I would have put a hole in the bottom of that bitch and put it in the bottom of the fucking bay. That's just me.
Once I just left it there, some guy's gonna be like, free boat.
The fuck am I?
Why am I here?
That would be a great off series. Ted in the mists of Avalon is just some fucking dude, some schmuck that stole a boat.
It would be about let's make some guy that steals a boat. Maybe he's a drug dealer, and wherever he goes, it's like, man, I wish I had some. It's like, I'm here through the midst of Avalon.
Are you the guy?
350.
I'm the guy. I don't know about you. I would watch that. Get on it. Make a comic book series. Ted and the fucking stolen boat of Avalon. But yeah, this was a good ending to the Gathering series. I thought that the compromise was entertaining.
Yeah.
I thought that the storyline was complete. And you
Yeah.
get Puck's backstory if you want to tell.
Oh, it's just like for a long time. I think even from the mirror, like Puck comes through, and she's like, "You serve the human, you can serve me." And they're like, "What the fuck does that mean?" It's because she knows that Owen is Puck.
Mm-hmm.
She's known it the entire fucking time.
So is Xanatos.
Yeah, Xanatos has known it for a very, very long time, and it's just kind of like he's just kind of been there in the background, just kind of being like the servant, and this entire time he's like a fae of chaos, and playing the boring straight man is funny as shit to him.
Well, the thing that really gets me about this series is that we're at the end of season 2.
We're like getting there.
And they put down the roots of Vogel, like early.
Oh yeah, and you're like, why the fuck they're just lazy. They made this guy look exactly like Owen.
Yeah, they just reskinned him apparently, but then you find out there's an actual storyline there.
Oh yeah.
And like the voice of Vogel and the voice of Owen are different, but like there's no mistaken.
Yeah, you look at him. It's like, what are you like? I think even Xanatos' dad. Like, are you guys brothers or something? Like, I've never. She's the only one of me.
I guarantee you, I've never seen this woman before in my life. But yeah, like that was a great turn. The whole thing with Titania being with Oberon, she gets fucking bored of him. She goes and hangs out with I keep forgetting Fox. Renard. And then she gets bored of him.
Yep.
But like the thing I don't understand about Renard is he was like very young and like a very good-looking person.
I think he was probably like 50s.
Okay.
Or maybe like he's old, but he's kind of like that distinguished old.
Sure.
And now he's like,
like crotchety.
For how old Fox is, because Fox is maybe in her 30s.
Yeah, he's straight up Scooby-Doo villain looking.
Yeah.
You know, like he.
I wonder if he's got some sort of debilitating condition as well that's maybe making him look worse than he is.
I don't know, but
he's got some old man fingernails and he's like, hey, he's fucking Nosferatu.
He's got that weird shaped fucking Nosferatu head, like the Crypt Keeper head, but he stole like Professor Xavier's fucking chair or something. So yeah, it was striking to me like how he looked when he was a kid or younger when Fox was born and how he looks now.
Oh yeah.
And it's like nobody else looks like that. You know, and like Fox should have like clued in on it because her mom
looks the same,
exactly the same, and for some reason that detail still escaped her. So, but I thought it was also interesting where like Oberon was like, oh, so you know, Titania's gonna do what Titania's gonna do.
Yeah,
and,
she had some fun.
Yeah, and he just thought it was fucking amusing, and I loved that. I thought that was great.
You know, it's kind of like she divorced me because she didn't like the way I was acting, whatever, and we went our separate ways, spent 1,000 years amongst mortals, and she got up to some fun.
Yeah.
Had herself a kid. Like, whatever.
How amusing. My queen has been busy, or whatever he says. But I just thought that was really funny. I loved that the message overall was basically a parent's love and how it can change. Because I know that's true with Jackson. I'd jump in front of a fucking moving train for him. I'd try to get him out in front of a moving train with me alive,
That was
but if I had to,
because you're not going to stop the train.
yeah, no, I would try to get him out of the
Yeah,
train.
throw him free of the train,
But
preferably with you
well,
going
I
to.
would dive.
Yeah,
So hopefully he would be out, and hopefully I would also make it. But
yeah,
if I have to die for my kid, I would.
yeah,
And I thought it was very interesting that the entire basic storyline of it was, what would you do to keep your kid with you?
yeah.
You know?
And how that's essentially like going to turn Xanatos from like a villain and like calm him the fuck down.
Yeah. And like for the first time, you really kind of see him out of control
Oh yeah,
because he's trying to
yeah,
trying to keep things together, but he knows that he's outmatched.
yeah. He totally had zero control on this whatsoever. He tried and everything just kept failing.
Mm-hmm.
Even like near the beginning of it, when you can see like Oberon and Titania having their conversation, him like having the gun behind the headboard, and
Mm-hmm.
just being like, I can see where this conversation's going. I'm just
Mm-hmm.
gonna arm myself now. And then, secret gun. And just like, yeah, whatever.
Well, at first, Oberon's just like, give me that shit. And he Darth Vader's his ass.
It's like, I'm gonna jump kick you then. Jump kick anyway.
Get the fuck out of here.
That's a jump kick shit.
Yeah. And then just like that whole bit was really interesting. And then it's kind of like, okay, well, I can take the kid now. Or,
It was just kind of like, ah, I'm not heartless.
yeah.
You've got an hour. Say goodbye to your kid forever.
Yeah.
It's a whole hour.
Yeah. My queen wants it. She's going to have the kid.
It's made an hour in Avalon's like a day outside. It's a fucking hour. That's a lot of time.
That's
Go
true.
for that shit.
That's true. But yeah, I did love at the end of it where basically everybody kind of stops Oberon, but at the end, Oberon kind of
He
wins.
essentially wins, and it's just kind of like only in him getting the child as Fox show that she's still got some magic in her.
Yeah.
Or Goliath to be like, look, magic can flourish even outside of Avalon.
Well, what I liked is that Fox did the blast, knocks Oberon on his ass, and he was even like, ow!
He gets knocked through the hole in the wall, and he's like, I am not a man.
Yeah, he's just kind of like, ow! And then immediately Titania's like, there it is. Like I think she even knew at that point.
Yeah.
You know, I made happen what I wanted to happen.
How do you... when her life is in danger, it's not enough to get Fox to show her magic.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe it'll come out when I take her kid.
And she knew it.
Yeah.
She knew it was going to happen.
What's at the end? It's like, oh, I'll see you later, sweetie. It's like, man, fuck you, mom.
Yeah. And,
Like,
and she takes that dig on her, too. Like, oh, no, she's a squib. Like, she had a potential, but being around humans for as long as she was, like, there's no potential there whatsoever. So it's like, okay, first you're going to be like, fuck you, I got potential. Like, you're going to do that thing that kids do.
Fuck you, mom. It's like, it's good you didn't get what you, good you didn't get you once. Like, who just didn't say didn't get exactly what I wanted?
Yeah, and of course, because it's Faye, it's like Oberon and Titania stole the script from Xanatos at that point.
Oh yeah, they were gonna win either way.
Yeah, and they're just like, we know how to win, and we're going to make you really uncomfortable in your own home. And Xanatos is like, well, I don't like this one bit.
Yep, I'm not a fan.
Yeah.
Is this what I've been doing to people?
This is terrible. I'm an awful person. Are we the baddies? Yeah.
Enough at the end, he's like, fucking Goliath, whew, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I owe you a favor, and he's just kind of like, but
I don't believe you yet, but maybe you'll make it up to me.
well, I mean, what he said specifically was, okay, sure,
And I know the change.
but a parent's love can change people, so we'll see where it goes.
Yeah.
Which is their second accord they've reached, because they've reached an accord before.
Which even after that one, they kind of stopped fucking with each other for the most part.
For the most part.
Like I guess the direct fucking with each other. It's more of like I'm over here doing a scheme. It's like, it's like okay. I thought we were cool. I'm doing a scheme. It's like, well, stop your scheme. It's like, okay. We'll have to fight it out first.
Hey man, Xanatos is gonna Xanatos.
Some motherfuckers got a scheme. Not a man's scheme.
But I did like the message that it was basically a parent's love. Because
Yep.
I do know. If fucking Brock Lesnar walked up and snatched Jackson from me, he's like, my kid now. I'll do anything I can to tear that motherfucker
I'm just
down.
being like,
Yeah. I will probably get bitch slapped out of the fucking, into the nearest vehicles.
on your headboard and get your fucking laser gun.
Get lasered. Which is the other thing I wanted to talk about. And I almost forgot.
Oh yeah.
So when Oberon gets reduced,
Yeah, he's kind of shriveled up a little bit.
and he's shriveled, and he looks like a fucking like
Nosferatu.
yeah, he looks like Nosferatu. And then you have Angela, and I believe it was Angela and I think Brooklyn. They jump at him, and he's like,
then they're gone.
And then they're like, "So-"
Yeah, cuts to them floating in space, being like, so.
yeah. But then when he walks up on the rest of the group, and then
Yeah, I
he
think
fucking gets the cloak.
Zenithos' father, like, shooting at him or some shit.
Yeah, and then he gets the cloak. He goes, pocket gargoyles. Like, it was almost like pocket sand, but he pocket gargoyled and like threw him at him. Dude, I laughed so fucking hard. That was so funny to me. Because like at that point he was just like, I'm just gonna do whatever to get the fucking job done.
That's also something else I find amusing. So like they end up losing, air quotes, and then Fuck's like, yeah, see, isn't this cool? So can I stay here for a little bit? And it's like, yeah, cool. You can never come to Avalon again, and you can only have your powers when you're training the boy. See ya. Don't fight me.
Cool story, bro. But yeah, you spurned me, so I'm taking your gift.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, wait, no.
I beg you to reconsider. Nah,
Nah.
we're good.
It's made your bed, lay in it.
You don't want to come home? You can stay here with the humans.
There you go. You got what you wanted.
It was a good conclusion.
Yeah.
And plus, I still to this day will say that Puck is probably one of the strongest characters in the show.
Puck? Yeah. Puck's strong. And
I mean,
then for Oberon to be like even that much stronger than him.
And he fooled him. And like he still was just like, Oberon was pissed and he's like, I'm ready to end this force. And he's like, that's a really good story.
Yep.
And Oberon's like, I guess I'm a captive audience at this point.
Well, he was still fighting him a bit too, because he'd make like the statue of Vogel and it would like punch.
Yeah.
And I like that he made him out of wood. It's like, oh, look at this little wooden man right here.
Got it. Okay, I did not make that connection.
Well, he even does it himself.
Okay.
The most wooden man ever, as he made him out of a tree.
Okay, I didn't make that connection when he said that, but that was good. Like we've done some blocks of episodes on this show, and there's been some stinkers.
Yeah, some ups and downs.
And there's been some great ones. But I can say that this 5 block we did was probably my favorite episode so far.
And I think this is probably why I look back on the Avalon little series more fondly than some of the rest, is because it like ends strong, I think.
Definitely.
And I remember Avalon ending with the Gathering. I'm like, this is fun. And it kind of, I like at the beginning when you've got like all of Oberon's children, you're like, Anansi is there. You've got Odin, you've got Anubis, you've got
Siren,
the Banshee. Like,
the Banshee,
the Banshee's just kind of showing up like, it's all these, we were building up and filling out the world, and these are all just Oberon's children. So all the people that they never call Oberon's children, you're like, what the fuck are these things? Well, there's 3 races. There's humans, gargoyles, and Oberon's children. So if you're not a human, you're not a gargoyle.
That's like if you have magic, you're Oberon's children.
Yeah.
Because it's like everything that possessed magic was there.
Yeah.
So, but like, what just surprised me was that Odin's a god. Like.
Sure. Yep.
But like.
In this world, he's just a fae. And he got some people in Norway to worship him or whatever.
Yeah, and now you're like, Anansi's a god. And now you have like the Ubermensch, the Uber god that comes in.
Yeah, Oberon walks in, kneels in front of Oberon, and kisses his ring.
Yeah, and he's like, hey, so you get your eye back? And he's like, yeah, check it out.
And then Banshee shows up and they have their own little fight.
Yeah, and like
I could turn worm. It's like, I could do polar bear. And it's like, this is funny. No, it's not. Stop it.
Yeah. Yeah, this is a great show, and then eventually he's just like, "Okay, I'm tired of this."
Yeah, quit it.
Yeah, all the other kids want to come and bow to me. Like, let's move on. But I also like that he's so powerful that, like, in the beginnings of the procession of everyone coming to me and like, "Hello, Father," he's just like, "Where's Puck? Everyone, just chill for a minute. I'll be right back. Let me borrow your dog. I'm gonna go for a walk through New York."
It's kind of like, I've got all these people and they're following my orders. One of them didn't follow my orders.
Yeah.
I'm going to show him.
Yeah, I'm going to handle this right now. Meanwhile, back in Avalon, everyone's like, is he coming back or what?
Other again, he leaves Avalon. What was he gone? Like a couple hours? A few minutes.
That's a good point.
Yep.
All right. Well, still.
He gave him an hour in that world, which means it's 1/24th of an hour in Avalon.
Still, it seems a bit much. Just be like, but Ted's not here? I'm going to go get Ted.
Catherine, give me your dog.
Yeah. Okay. What am I going to tell you? Fucking no?
Yeah. I find myself in need of a tracker. Give me Boudica, please.
And I also like whenever he walked out of the mirror and the guy like looks at.
Oh yeah.
And he goes from Oberon to like a dude, and he takes the water and he's like, nope.
Something in that.
Yeah, that was good. It was a nice touch.
Yeah.
But yeah. So.
Do we want to?
This block was fucking tits.
I don't think we'll do full on guessing scores per se, but we can at least maybe.
I haven't looked just in case you want to do the IMDb's on them.
Well, I think we'll do the which one do you think is of these five? So we'll unfortunately have to split up one and gathering one and two and a two.
Hmm.
Of these five, which one do you think is the highest rated?
Future tense.
Uh, Close. So Future Tense is 8.1.
Okay.
The Gathering Part 2 is 8.3. The Gathering 1 is 8.1.
Okay.
So the first half of The Gathering and Future Tense are rated both at 8.1. What do you think the lowest one is?
The first episode.
Cloudfathers, yeah. 7.2 though.
Okay, that's still not bad.
So 7.2 for Cloudfather, 7.7 for Illuminate by Moonlight, 8.1 for Future Tense and The Gathering Part 1, and then 8.3 for The Gathering Part 2.
So it's just a build. It's each episode is better than the last.
Yeah.
So okay, that's good.
Which it's been for a while. You're like, well, go back to Pendragon 7.3, 7.4, 7.5, 7.1, 7.2, 7.2, 7.5. It's we're staying in the sevens and eights, which I think is a lot of who's writing these shows nowadays. The people who remember them.
Mm-hmm.
So these might be skewed high, but I'm also there. I'm one of those guys going back and rewatching old shows, being like, it's still good, and giving things like eights.
Yeah, well, if it's staying at a constant 7, even in the bad episodes, that says something for the pedigree of the show.
Yeah.
You know, like, and I will say that this, you're going to reach some weird ones, like the Easter Island episode, where that was just a bridge too far for even me.
Yeah.
But I liked that the message is that they did all the Avalon stuff, they met all the other gargoyles and all the other entities, and then when they went back to New York, the message was, we're not alone.
Yeah.
We thought we were alone.
We saw gargoyles here. We came across Clan's names like, oh, we met Griff. We didn't know there was more. It's like,
He didn't say shit.
Yeah, well, he didn't.
That's because Griff's an idiot.
Well, Griff is another gargoyle. He's like, I know,
Yeah.
I know Goliath. It's like, oh, shit, we met. There's other gargoyles.
Yeah, but it's like we're not alone. We're in a world full of like what we are, and then of course you're going to add the magic on top of that. So
It looks like the lowest rated episode of season 2 that we've seen so far is the Golem at 6.7, and that's still
even then that was a good episode.
Yeah, and the next lowest one was Mark of the Panther at 6.8 and Sentinel at 6.9, which was that Easter Island one. So the Anansi, I don't think 6.8. I guess people weren't a big fan of the.
I think there's a
spider.
lot of explanation in the middle of that one.
Maybe the weird storytelling being separate up, but it also had LeVar Burton. Wasn't he Anansi?
I think he was, and that's the other thing I wanted to look up is some of the voices.
Who did you want? Who were you curious about?
Like I wanted to know who Oberon was, and I wanted to know who Titania was.
Yeah, I like Titania's voice. That kind of gravelly. I don't know. The older woman voice is pretty cool. Robert Culp is Halcyon Renard. Shania Easton was back for Banshee.
Okay.
Travis Marshall. I don't know who Travis Marshall is. Terrence Mann is Oberon, and Kate Mulgrew. Oh, I think I know Kate. Wasn't she? Isn't Kate Mulgrew?
Deep Space Nine.
Yeah, the
she's
commander of Voyager.
Yeah, she's I loved her in Voyager. She's really good.
Yeah, I don't know Terrence Mann.
Terrence Mann. Space is familiar.
Yeah, I don't recognize him. He was in Critters 4.
Oh man, we're here for the Krites. Those movies. I don't care what anybody says. Those movies are good.
I don't think I've ever seen any of them.
Critters?
Yeah.
Oh God. Oh, I know what I'm making you watch on the next. Have you seen?
He's in a lot of like TV shows, but he was alien interpreter in The Tick in one episode.
Are we talking about the animated Tick?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Bad move, Neil.
Yeah, I don't see him in a bunch of stuff. Maybe he's the Rum Tum Tugger.
Like Cats. We're going back to Cats. Let me get my 11 out. The Rum Tum Tugger.
There's not. I mean, All My Children. He was Earl Boyd, but I don't know if it doesn't say how many episodes he was in.
It does not ring familiar to me.
5 episodes of the Edge of the Night back in 56 to 84. So he was in 82. Yeah, I don't know him.
Who is the voice of Alexander?
It's Xanatos.
It was just him doing a lighter voice?
Yeah.
Okay.
You didn't hear it?
Kinda.
I'm pretty sure they just got Jonathan Frakes. Yeah, Alexander Fox.
Okay. How about Baby Alexander? Who was the voice of Baby Alexander?
I bet they got Bronx guy to do it. Be a baby.
I gotta know.
Did he make noises in the? I don't know if he did.
Well, he cried. He got really upset when they were like, "We taking a baby," and he's like, "Wah!"
Yeah, I don't think they got anyone for that.
He didn't get top billing.
He didn't get top building.
Bullshit.
Brett Spiner for Puck.
Of course.
Laura San Giacomo for Fox.
Was that a new actress?
Nope.
The same one?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like Preston Vogel, Peter Scolari. I mean, a lot of these people I'm not super familiar with, but I mean, seeing Titania as I don't remember the captain's name from Voyager because I've watched like two or three.
Janeway.
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 So Janeway is Titania.
So, and that's the thing is like we had a conversation like at work where they were asking who your favorite captain is.
Mm-hmm.
For the longest time, it was Jean-Luc.
Mm-hmm.
But I really like Janeway.
Okay.
Only for the fact that she was very assertive and she knew exactly what the fuck she wanted to do. And 9 times out of 10, she was right. And then you get to the episode where two characters got fused together. And it was just like she made a really tough call. I'm not going to ruin it for you. But she made a really tough call. And at the end of it, I think she made a bad decision. So, but yeah, you'll get to it eventually. Tuvix.
Okay. I mean,
We're not talking about Star Trek.
I might go back to I've watched like a couple episodes.
I quit. I'm going to be the worst person to tell you to go back and watch them because as soon as they got 7 of 9 on the episode, I lost interest.
I didn't even get that far. I think it was one of those ones that was on Netflix and I watched it a couple episodes. Then you miss, like I watch maybe an episode a day, this day and next episode, and then like some time passes and I watch the next episode. Then more time passes, and over the course of time, it just leaves the rotation of shows you're watching, and I just haven't gone back to watch it.
So I made a promise that I would watch Deep Space Nine to James, and then I got so far in that storyline it was like I don't care about the Ferengis and like the kids running around the space station. I don't care about any of that, so I stopped. Then I went to Voyager, and I really liked Voyager because it felt more like people. It was like Gilligan's Island in space.
Lost in Space.
Exactly, and then 7 of 9 shows up, and then there was like every episode after that was like how Janeway and 7 of 9 don't like each other and they do things differently, and by the end of it they come to an understanding. And after like 5 episodes of that, I was like, I don't care. I get it. You used to be a Borg, but and you're fucking hot. So let's just move on. Jerry Ryan, please. You're on my list.
All right. So, is there anything else we want to mention with these, or shall we start wrapping it up?
I think we should wrap it up.
All right. So next month we will discuss 46, 47, and 48. Vendettas, Turf, and the Reckoning.
Does that bring us to the end?
No, but because we did a block of 5 to kind of keep the gathering in there, we'll do a block of 3 next time, which means the next time we can finish with Possession and then Hunter's Moon through 1 through 3.
Okay.
So,
do we want to just do 4 and then we could do the Hunter's Moon?
So do you want to do these 4 and then just on our last episode be only about Hunter's Moon?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do that. So next time, 46 Vendettas, 47 Turf, 48 Reckoning, and 49 Possession. Which means our last episode of Season 2 for Gargoyles will be just Hunter's Moon.
Okay. I think that's good.
All right. That sounds like a plan. So join us next month. You have your assignments.
And this show has been losing viewership. Are we doing something wrong? Are we not talking about your favorite character?
Or we talk too long.
Or we talk too long, exactly. I think I even said it's like if a video is like more than 5 or 10 minutes, I won't watch it. But I have been watching our stuff just to kind of.
Yeah, most of the time when I go to YouTube, I watch movies or watch videos that are like 30 to 60 minutes.
Well, I also know that you like to put it on this background while you're doing stuff. But me, if you want to hold my attention, it's got to be like 5 or 10 minutes.
You're sitting there staring at the TV watching what it is. Yeah.
So, do we need to make them shorter? Do we need to go episode by episode? You tell us.
Or do you watch it like I do and put it in the background and do other stuff while you're listening to us ramble about gargoyles?
We're fine with that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Get all of your friends to do that.
That's how I like YouTube.
Yeah.
YouTube is kind of the thing that is somewhat interesting. And then occasionally they'll go on about something and you're like, I want to know what they think about that. Then you pause and listen.
So, let us know.
Yes.
And put down in the comments what's your favorite episodes and why he's wrong about future tense.
And why is it the mirror? All right. Bye, everybody.
Have a good one.